Maximus Analysis here for November 16th, 2016, and wanted to kind of go over the financial sector today. The financial sector saw a big move last week, again, with the presidential election. Some people feel that is due to there's going to be a lot of rolling back in regards to Dodd-Frank and other legislation that basically would give the banks more freedom in regards to trading. I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, but what I want to do is look at the price action coming into after this event. So this is the weekly chart for the financial sector, and we see that they made a huge run up. And then again, also make sure that you look at what type of percentage move did they get. So we talked about the Russell giving about 10%. This is about 9.5% of move in 1 week on huge volume. Now you're starting to see a shooting star set up. That doesn't mean that it is a downtrend, but again, where do you put your stop if you're actually looking to start a long position? So a lot of people might have taken a long here on the breakout. I'm not a breakout trader. I hate breakout trading actually, because I feel that it sets most traders up to fail if they don't put their stop where they want to be. And I think that people don't use their stops or their targets. Now, if you don't have a stop or a target, you're just getting in because it's running without you. Either way, I think that they're going to pull back, and I think they could pull back at least to the halfway mark of this huge candle. So let's just use the basic fib here and dig into this one and say, okay, they need to hold this 2070, or let's just say the $20 mark on the retracement. Again, they're holding these previous highs as well, so we make sure that we look to the left in regards to any price action that we may see. But again, those that are chasing are going to see a lot of that stuff manifest, unfortunately, to a pullback into some basic stop areas. So again, we'll look to see if they get to this $21 mark. We'll see. You can see that a lot of the big names within this sector have the same type of real, if we go to the weekly chart, you can see again same type of resistance area. Not resistance area, but same type of huge move up based on an event last week. Again, I didn't know if it was going to go up or down. But then you see that they're clearly above and broken above this, and they might even match this type of movement here. So again, you can look at, oops, let me use the default arrow. You can see that they have, maybe they'll match coming into this, the same type of movement coming out. So they're almost there. So again, I think that this move is probably done, and please wait for a retracement. Again, you'll see that, and that's some stuff that I'll talk about in regards to more, not a more advanced patterns, but just some more patterns. Quite honestly, once the service starts and I start digging in deeper into the charts, you'll see now that I'll probably be doing a couple names, but overall I'm going to be going over maybe once a week, going over the ES and the indexes on this public forum on YouTube, but then going when the service launches, going more into depth and putting some nightly analysis work in for those that choose to join. So also the JP Morgan in the sector, again, same type of deal, shooting star pattern. That's expected after such a high move. I think, again, I don't know if they blew their load, but I'm not going long here because where do I put my stop? Do I put it under here? How much heat do you say? Some people might say, oh, put it right here. Some people might say, put it at halfway of the candle. This is not a setup unless you were going into it. But to get in this week, that's something I'm not going to do, because again, there might be a ton of people unfortunately chasing based on last week's action to say, okay, this is going to fully move, and you have that same type of deal going on where you're just kind of more frustrated than anything else. Let's look at Apple on the weekly time frame. You can see it's setting up right near our uptrend line that we've put here, and this is the weekly time frame. They take a lot of the noise out, and it looks like it's setting up nicely. Again, a break above this, and I'll put more into the newsletter, but this looks good. It looks like it can give you a lot of good, you have higher lows, you have levels that we defined, and so far so good, again, with Apple. A lot of people have started looking at Microsoft, and again, we'll look and see what this pattern looks like. It's okay. Again, into this area was probably, of course, the better buy, obviously, Captain Obvious. But also looking at these previous highs is where you can really say, okay, they held that, but I would be taking some profit off, because if you kind of look at how Let's look at like a monthly chart. You can see historically that this is uncharted land for this name. It's been a while, a while to say the least, right? So this is going back to the year 2000. This is 16 years ago it took them to get to this level. Again, there were splits. I think there was one split here. This is where all the Microsoft people made their money, early 90s, late 90s, and then whoever didn't sell here is probably on some, I'm going to retire now. It took me 16 years. Hopefully I got the same amount of shares. But again, looking at that point, and someone would say this is a, I don't know, a bowl or a cup, and I don't, again, you know me with the patterns. But again, I would be taking profits into this area just based on looking at this monthly chart and saying, okay, if not, I'm going to roll my stop back to this point because they're already, I bet you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles, 5 months up in a row. Again, if you've been watching the channel, you kind of know what that means. So even on the monthly chart, let's look at this. You see a shooting, a hammer formation into previous highs, chopped sideways, then came, and now it's just slowly going up. So again, just roll your stop. I would probably put the stop around the 55.5 area if it's a long-term trade, and just let it rock. So that looks like a good trade setting up. So again, continue to look and see what we have going on in regards to the overall markets. Again, they're at 2176 right now, and we'll dig deeper into those into the subscription service, and of course giving once or twice a week, diving into the index and breaking down things. So I'm going to be doing more individual names, and if you have an individual name, please email me at max@maximusanalysis.com. If you have not received the newsletter, please check your spam folder. I started about 3 weeks ago using MailChimp, so it could be in your spam folder. I have used the same email list. Again, if you have not gotten it, again, it's free. Just let me know, and again, when the subscription builds, we've got some really good things coming for you guys. So again, my website is up. You could take a look at MaximusAnalysis.com. I have a couple of things that I am going to be doing, but I will go over this again tomorrow. So take care and trade well.